Hi YouTube. I generally go by Bean Blackfoot in my videos, and for now that is still what I'll be going by in my videos. I'd like to propose an idea that I had regarding Nintendo with all the various things that are going on with them. For the longest time, Nintendo has been the home family gaming company. In recent years, they have shifted to a money-hungry corporation that is only affecting us as the consumer. There are plenty of sources on the drama, and if you are not well versed, I highly recommend going and learning more regarding it. Anyways, back to my idea. I realized I'm like half awake making this. Um, and currently recovering from surgery. I don't know if you can see, but I have an arm brace on currently. Um, but here's my idea. I want to become the CEO of Nintendo America. Now you must be thinking, this kid must be high or something. There's no way I heard him right. And you might be right. I might be a little high, and it's probably because of the pain medication, but alas, you did hear me correct, for I am Delulu, a Delulu individual, and will continue to be so till the day I die. Not high, but delusional. Let me give you some context as to why, though. You see, Nintendo started spiraling after Satoru Iwata's death. May God let the legend's soul rest in peace. But he died in 2015, right before the Nintendo Switch released. Now, you must be thinking, hold on, the Switch was groundbreaking, one of the best consoles they've made. And yes, while this is true, it was also the last console Mr. Iwata worked on, and his influence heavily caused the almost perfect console it is. The amount of time and effort he put into designing it and working with people, it was insane, because he was a programmer and he was a gamer like us. He made sure that he understood what the consumer was. But you must now be thinking, okay, but even so, what does that have to do with the company? Well, after Mr. Iwata's death, his leadership was filled by a greedy businessman who is one of the only reasons why there's features like the Nintendo Switch Online membership, which you have to pay to play with your friends. If you look back in 2017, 2018, the Switch had just released, and we didn't have to pay for online features. You could play Splatoon for free online with all of your friends. You could play Mario Maker. Mario Maker is a good example. I didn't prep any good examples, but any game that had online support, you could play with your friends without having to pay. You just had to pay for the console and the game itself, which is how it should be, because you're already paying for your Wi-Fi, and most of the servers that these games are running on are from console to console, not on they're not running on a main server that Nintendo is owning. There's a little more technical to that, but I don't have all of the information to that, so I do highly suggest going and finding some more videos on how it would work. I'll probably link some in the description so that you can go and find some. But all this to say, we don't need our gaming companies that worry about families, especially Nintendo. Nintendo is the family gaming company, and they proved that with the Nintendo Switch. So they have no reason to argue that they're not. But we need companies that are gaming companies that worry about families and offering fun-free memories to be led by people who are, we don't need them to be led by people who are just going to manipulate the consumers to make money, to like fish the product, but then just have somebody steal everything off of us while they're using that product to fish for us. We don't need people like that. We need to lead our gaming companies through the consumers, the gamers, the coders. They need to be who are running these companies. The consumers, the gamers, the coders, they should show the company where to go. Not these corporate businessmen who know how to make money off of it, because that's not what gaming is about. And sure, there are plenty of games that have microtransactions that run free that you can just download and start playing. But there's also the fact that, yes, there are people who are working on the games that need to be paid for the food, for like necessity. Like, they need to be able to get food. But you also need to think about the fact that Nintendo, right now, you have to buy a $500 console, then you have to buy an $80 game, and then pretty much to be able to play any of those games, you have to buy an online membership, which is another $20. So that's almost $600, probably closer to $700 just to play a video game. I love video games. I love scenery in games. Heck, if you guys look at my channel, I have Hollow Knight content. That's a ton of content right there. That shows that I love video games. It is pixels on a screen coded into an operating system that reads ones and zeros. You don't need to make that so that people, the consumers, cannot access it. It should be accessible, especially if it's a family-oriented company like Nintendo. Because if you just have these corporate guys finding the best ways to empty our pockets into their personal accounts, then they're just getting money and we're getting a piece of plastic that they have the kill switch to. There needs to be better ways to be able to fix this. Like, to run a company. We can all agree that this is absolutely horrible. Even if you're a Nintendo stan, you might say, oh, but it's Nintendo, so it's okay. But it's not. $300 for a console is reasonable. It is maybe, like, I would save up for that. $350 for an enhanced version of it is amazing. That was the Switch. The Nintendo Switch 2 is $500. That is not reasonable. That is $1,000. That could be somebody's rent money or utilities budget for a month. And you're expecting them to drop that like it's nothing. Nintendo, we need to do better. Thank you. Have a good night.